Coming to you every week from no place in particular, this is the Forever Road podcast, featuring Bosco. He's a music lover, a historian, and a connoisseur of the obscure. Find us on some great platforms like iHeart, Spotify, and even more as we keep growing. Now, pointed down the Forever Road, here's Bosco.
Welcome to the best worst thing you've never seen, Forever Road podcast. Join me. We are back off of a two weeks. Or did we were here last week?
I mean, I was here. I don't know if we were here though.
Wait, was I here? Were you
No,
here?
I think you were there. I was here.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
It's one of those. I don't know.
Let's see. Yeah, welcome in everybody. We are live once again, coming from YouTube. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons on your on our YouTube channel. Go on to Spotify. Do me a big favor. Go on to Spotify. Give me a 5-star review. Share and like. I said like again. This video, please. It sure helps us out. We took I think that we did take a little bit of a hiatus. I don't think we've been on here in 2 weeks. With everything that's been going on, being sick and just having to take a rest or stuff like that. But we're here. We'll get back on track shortly. I'm actually looking to see when our last episode was. Man, I've been cleaning up and doing a lot of work on the house and working in general. Gosh. It was 2 weeks ago. Huh?
I said I've just been moving pop in.
Yeah.
One tote at a time.
Been let's see. There we go. I had a lot of clips on here. But there we go. I had to finagle with my Chromebook over here, had my regular laptop right here. Because the last time we went to record, this thing was giving me problems. But like I like to cover, we're going to go over some today in music history real quick. Find some interesting little tidbits of this day in history, but in music. Anybody important? I'll do this one for Mr. Frank Chickalees because I know he does support us. He listens. Abbey Road Studios, 2010. Abbey Road Studios was made a listed building, protecting it from plans of radically altering it. Culture minister in England, they have a culture minister. Margaret Hodge listed the studio, according to thisdaymusic.com. Listed the studios on the advice of English Heritage, saying it had produced some of the very best in music in the world. The Beatles used Abbey Road for 90% of their recordings. It was originally EMI Studios. They changed the name to Abbey Road in 1970 because of the Beatles album. 2003, the news of the world reported Michael Jackson undergone scores of painful operations to strip his body of black skin. Believe me, if he only knew, it's not really. I mean, he wanted to be a white dude. Yes. Of his black skin until he appeared white, and that surgeons at the Santa Monica clinic eventually refused him any more treatments. He used it to peel his skin and bleach. Okay. Wow. I mean, no comment from Turtle. Can you?
Great musical artist. Don't care for the man.
Yeah. Tom Petty, Howie Epstein, bass player for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, died this day in 2003, suspected of drug overdose in New Mexico. He had replaced Heartbreakers' original bassist Ron Blair. Epstein.
Uh-oh. Did we lose him? I think we lost him.
One of the Temptations died of a brain seizure at the age of 52.
Oh, we lost you there for a minute.
Really?
Right after you said something about the Oasis band.
The Temptations. Melvin Frank of the Temptations, and he died in 1995. This day, in 1995, of a brain seizure. There we go.
English is hard.
At age 52. The 1971 U.S. #1 hit single "Just My Imagination" and reissued "My Girl" in 92. In 1978, Franklin was shot in the hand and leg when trying to stop a man from stealing his car.
Yeah, I remember those days.
We don't get into political stuff.
Thought about the Stevie Wonder thing incident, 1985.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was released because he didn't see what happened. Anyway, next one.
Oh, I didn't see nothing.
I don't know what to talk about.
Says two guys wearing glasses. I'll be like this. Nah, man, I ain't see nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't even see you. That guy.
I don't want to look at you right now.
Oh, man.
My daughter, Punky, would do that. She'd take her glass off. I don't want to look at you right now.
The Smiths. I forgot about that. I mean, I was too young when it happened. Yeah, in 1985, the Smiths scored their first UK #1 album with Meat is Murder. But the album sleeve uses a 1967 photograph of Marine Corporal Michael Wynn in the Vietnam War. I remember somebody else was talking about it, but it's just saying that though with the wording on his helmet changed from "Make War Not Love" to "Meat is Murder."
Meat is Murder.
Yeah.
From the 1968 documentary, The Year of the Pig.
Yep. I'd seen that and I was reading it and I was like, oh yeah, Corporal Michael Wynn. I remember that. I mean, I don't remember it, but I remember seeing pictures of it growing up. But somebody else had mentioned that. It's been a while since I've heard about it, but somebody else.
I remember seeing the original. I remember seeing the original picture, but not the Meat is Murder.
You never saw the album cover for that?
No.
Well,
I mean, the Smiths are a little bit out of my.
I was gonna say maybe because it was a UK thing and it was in 1985.
Maybe. Yeah, I was 5 years old. Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, 76. It's 1976. There you go. AC/DC shot a video clip for "It's a Long Way to the Top" if you want to rock and roll. Matter of fact, a little tidbit of information: they don't play that song live.
You know why?
Because of Bon Scott. Wasn't that like his last album or something?
I don't know the particulars of it, but I knew it was because of Bon Scott.
Yeah. They won't record that. Or
they'll never perform it live again. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his baby or something.
They did that for Australian. They recorded the video for Australian music television program Countdown. It featured the band's then current lineup. What? Okay. Along with members
current
of
lineup at the time.
Yeah. All right. Rats of Tobruk pipe band on the back of a flatbed truck traveling Swanston Street in Melbourne. Not Melbourne, Florida, but Melbourne, Australia. In May of 2001, Australian Asian Performing Rights Association, say that 3 times fast.
No, thank you.
Celebrated its 75th anniversary by naming best Australian songs of all time as decided by a 100-member industry panel. It's a Long Way to the Top. If You Want to Rock and Roll was ranked its 9th song on their list. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty good song.
Yep. But it's such a short way for such a long road. Maybe that's why it only ended up in 9th. Had nothing to do with the controversy of the band itself.
Yeah. 1972, after 5 years of marriage, Priscilla moved out of Elvis Presley's California home and into a 2-bedroom apartment near the Pacific Ocean. The divorce would be finalized after October 9th of 73, with Priscilla being awarded outright cash payment of $725,000. Now, that's a lot of money for 1972 or 73.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, and spousal support and child support and 5% of his new publishing companies and half the income of the sale of their Beverly Hills home.
Good Lord.
Oh, yeah. She walked away like a bandit on that one. But, I mean, look at what she had to put up with, too. So,
I mean,
he wasn't the nicest gentleman out there, if he was considered a gentleman. How's it going, Tidwell?
There he is. What's up? Here he is. Welcome to the chats. Running a little over this day in history. Let's see. There's another Beatles factoid at 1965. The Beatles were busy on this day in history.
Yeah, they was doing some things.
They began filming of their movie Hard Day's Night. I've actually seen that movie. In the Bahamas, with the working titles 8 Arms to Hold You. Were you octopus? What's going on there?
Huh?
The Beatles said the film was inspired by the classic Marx Brothers film Duck Soup, which is directly satirical of the James Bond series films.
Which does make sense.
Yeah,
it does
make a lot of sense. Woody Guthrie, this is a little patriotic. This land, he wrote the lyrics to "This Land Is Your Land" in his room at Hanover House Hotel in New York City. The song was brought back to life in the 60s. and the artists of the new folk movement. Covered by Bob Dylan, the Kingston Trio, Trini Lopez, Jay and the Americans, the New Christie Minstrels. That just sounds wrong for some reason.
Not those kind of minstrels.
Okay.
these are minstrels, not menstruels.
Anyway. Okay.
Yeah. English is hard.
Inspired by its political message. This land is your land. From
California. Okay.
I don't see any. Looking over birthdays, I don't see anything relevant to what we generally talk about.
That's what I was looking for. Of course, all the stuff we usually talk about, those people were born in the 40s, weren't they?
Yeah. Oh, Johnny Winter. Well, Brad Whitford, musician Brad Whitford, guitarist with Aerosmith, scored the 1989 UK number 13 single, Love in an Elevator.
I do see Michael Wilton on here, though. He was a guitarist and songwriter for Queensryche.
Oh, yeah. He was born this day in 1962.
Yeah. That's why I was like, they were born in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Yeah, but Howard Jones. I remember Orange Juice, but I don't remember Zeke from Orange Juice. Brad Whitford, Steve Priest.
American singer and guitarist Johnny Winter was born this day in 1944, who worked with his brother Edgar Winter and Rick Derringer. Produced 3 Grammy Award-winning albums for blues singer and guitarist Muddy Waters. If you don't know who Muddy Waters is, folks, really check Muddy Waters out.
You're on the wrong channel if you don't know who Muddy Waters is. You haven't been listening.
If you follow my podcast, Edgar Winter died at the age of 70 in 2014. Sorry. Blah. Let me try to read that again. Johnny Winter died at the age of 70 on July 16, 2014, just days after playing at the Lovely Days Festival in Austria. Yeah, Johnny Winter, he was pretty good. Not to take away from Edgar, but Johnny Winter was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. And Steve Barry, who's a producer.
Yeah, I was reading that one.
He did Dizzy. I'm so dizzy, my head is spinning. The world, it never ends.
I know some folks that are walking around like that every day. That's it for today in music history.
Yeah.
That's about all. I mean, I'm not an Eagles fan, so
I'm not even a music fan anymore. I just listen to the sounds. The sounds that keep me calm.
Yeah, really. That's it for this day in music history. Tune in next week for more. Bam. So,
well, since we've done that, why don't we do this day in automotive history?
We can, sure.
Not from that page, though. Let's see. 1876, Nicola Romeo, born in Sant'Antonio, Italy. Don't ask who he is. I don't know. Ferruccio Lamborghini was born in 1916 on this day. Douglas Davison in 1920. Yes, from Harley Davidson. Douglas Davidson in 1921 became the first motorcyclist to exceed 100 miles per hour in Britain. 1922, the Ford Motor Company began manufacturing its own storage batteries. A sad piece of history, in 1953, Kaiser Fraser buys Willis.
Yep.
Thus ending the beautiful Willis vehicles. Excuse the noise in the background. And then 1956, Ford Fairlane 500 Skyliner, the world's first mass-produced retractable hardtop, debuted at the New York Auto Show. What else? I'm looking for interesting stuff. This is just
Yeah.
1975, the last international light truck was built, a Model 500 4x4 cab and chassis, ending 68 years of production of such vehicles. I guess dinner showed up. Pop is happy.
Is that what that noise was?
I'm not sure. I got my headphones on, so I can only hear a little bit. Let me turn it up so it sounds even louder. Here's a funny one. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
In 2012, a storm struck Louisville, Kentucky, and hail damaged some 3,500 Ford Escapes assembled at the plant nearby. And they still call them Escapes. They didn't escape. Oh, goodness.
Need that sound button. You forgot how to get a sound button with that and the rim shot and the sound clips.
I just got to find the sound clips, and I've got the buttons.
Yeah.
What do you got for motor history as I'm looking for interesting stuff?
The only thing I have is what I have written down for this episode. What we're going to cover, but
okay, well, just a few more things then.
Okay.
1901, New York became the first state to require automobile license plates. The fee was $1. Where'd it go? I just seen one, and then one that's more closer to my heart. Let me highlight it so I can see all of it.
I got one for you.
1931, Dr. Ferdinand Porsche founded Porsche KG, company of designers and consultants for land, sea, and air vehicles. Of course, one of their first assignments was for the German government because, it's 1931. That they designed the Volkswagen. And
one
then
of the greatest things. Speaking of that, Thursday, February 23rd, 1892, Rudolf Diesel received the German patent for the diesel engine.
Yes.
The diesel engine differs from petrol, which is gas in American terms, in freedom fractions. And it uses compressed air, squeeze bang versus spark bang. The first production diesel car in history started in 1933 with Citroën Rosalie, or Rosalie if you're a hillbilly. which featured a diesel engine option, the 1766cc 11UD engine, followed 2 years later by Mercedes-Benz 260D. So if anybody out there, if you're looking at the back of a Mercedes and it has a number followed by a D, that stands for diesel. Most of them are TDI, turbo diesel injection.
I thought that was Toyota Division Investigation.
And the Hanomag Record. Immediately after World War II and throughout the 1950s and 60s, diesel-powered cars began to gain limited popularity, particularly for commercial applications such as ambulances, taxis, and station wagons. A diesel-powered station wagon.
Yes, sir.
Dude.
Would you like to see one?
I just thought of mid to late 60s Dodge Coronet with a Cummins 5.9 liter in it.
Just rolling coal.
That's what I had a vision.
Let's go to Walmart, honey. Talk about some rolling coal on the way to Walmart. Yep. Big ass mud tires on it and everything, but it's not lifted.
No, lowered on 20s.
Lowered on 20s. Got
lowered 13s. On 20s.
13s and triple gold double A Daytons. With spinners.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that would be hilarious. All right. What, you got another one? Because I've only got 2 more and then I'm done talking about this one.
Diesel cars never caught on in the U.S., partly because of the diesel engine's greater efficiency is counterbalanced by its higher emissions of soot, odor. Yeah. O-D-O-U-R, odor. Yes.
Well, this is
Europeans.
Is this the same British writing that I've got over here?
Probably.
Might be. It was funny. We were looking at the same page a minute ago when we were talking about music. But no, I've only got 2 more. I'll do 2 more.
And then I got a question for you before we head on into our topic of the day.
Dun, dun, dun. In 1933, Frederick Henry Royce, who with Charles Stuart Rolls founded the luxury British automaker Rolls-Royce. He died at the age of 70 in England in 1933.
That reminds me of this. That's pretty good. Here's
another good one, but go ahead.
Go ahead. What you got?
All right, my one more. You should like this one. This is actually interesting because I didn't know it, and if it's true, that's amazing. I like it. In 1956, do you know what Carroll Shelby did?
No.
He drove a Ferrari to victory in the 100-mile Del Monte Trophy race held on the 2.1-mile Pebble Beach public road circuit. And I did not know that. And I'm not like, awesome Carroll Shelby fan. I can tell you everything because I couldn't tell you half the cars he worked on. I know of 2 besides the Mustang, Shelby Mustangs. But I know of 2 of his actual cars. And that's it. Thank you. Woot, woot.
So,
that's the only button I got. Sorry.
What would be the ultimate? Okay, so I heard this joke and it made me think about things the other day. You brought up Rolls-Royce, and I heard this joke on the way up because I did a road trip up to Athens to see my uncle who was in the hospital. And Bubba, who everybody listens in, he's been on here. Bubba Doo's rode with me, and thank you very much for that. But he rode with me. We had a good time. I got to see my old hometown and got to see why I am glad that I don't live in Athens, Georgia anymore. And I mean, it was fun. We went to the grill, had a hamburger Oh Lord, they would honestly put. It's not as good as the Rookery. I'll say that, but it's close.
Where'd you go?
The grill.
The Grill.
The grill. Yep.
Okay.
The grill.
Because I had a really good burger at the Boar's Head in Athens. Back when they served food. I don't know if they do anymore. Road trip.
I wish I knew how to post on here pictures from my phone.
Email.
I don't know how to do that yet. Oh yeah.
Discord. Get a Discord.
Maybe I should.
Yeah, you need to come over and look at some things anyways.
I email it from myself to myself. But yeah, I went to the grill and went down the street. My other uncle, his brother, was at a place called Little King's Shuffle place. Shuffle. I don't remember what it's called.
Shuffleboard.
Yeah, just a bunch of old geezers in there just pushing
plates across the bar.
Little Kings. I got a free beanie cap. Little Kings Shuffle Club. Yeah, older folks. Obviously, my uncles are 5, 6 years older than I am. But yeah, it was fun. I got to meet some pretty cool folks that he knew or that he knows, and
they don't know him, but no.
had a beer and a couple shots, and then because I was still full from the grill, I was perfectly fine. So I, after a little bit and drank a little bit of water, and I was like, all right, man, let's take this to the house. I think I texted you somewhere around after 2 a.m., didn't I? So, hey, man, I'm home.
Yeah, I just gone to bed, so I didn't even know.
I figured as much.
Well, you know me, I'm usually up later than that.
Yeah.
But, no, you don't, because you go to bed before that. No, I'm surprised. I'm surprised you actually texted me when you got home. Not that you wouldn't, but it was 2:00 in the morning. You'd have just gone in, sat on the couch, and passed out.
It was I had a blast, man. I did. I had fun.
Good. How's your uncle doing?
He's doing all right. They're his results from the testing and all that will come out tomorrow.
Gotcha.
So I think that's what he said. And he texted me earlier, said he was getting his results tomorrow. So hopefully he is, hoping and praying that he'll come clear of that or whatever's going on, and they can figure out and help him instead of just prolonging the process. We ain't got to get into all that.
Right.
Oh man, there's a lot of other stuff that happened today in history. I'm gonna have to subscribe to that page there.
The automotive history.
Well, it's on this day in automotive history.
Yeah, if it's the same page I was just looking at, that's a very good page. It was very in depth on some of the stuff.
Yeah,
and they have a lot of links that you can follow.
But yeah, so it was pretty fun. I'm glad I got home safe. Which it was stupid because I went on Google Maps because I don't really know. Once I get to a certain area of that, Athens area, Watkinsville, Winder, and all that, then I can figure I don't have to have a map. I don't have to have Google Maps or anything like that. Getting out of Athens, because there's so many one-way streets, and you go down this road, and you got to go down. There's a certain way to get out of there. I just figured I'd trust the map, put it on my windshield, and let it do its thing. So I clicked on home from Athens instead of to Bubba Doo's house because he rode with me, and it had me coming in from like a Jackson Monticello area to home, and I was like, and I'm riding. I mean, we're hitting these 2-lane these little backcountry roads, and I was like, wait a minute, God, I know what I did wrong, and I stopped, pulled over at some closed gas station, and redid the map thing to go to his house.
Turned you around,
but once
go back the other.
Yeah, I was way over here, and I had to backtrack back this way.
Yep, coming from Athens.
I was heading west instead of heading south.
Right.
And so I backtracked another, I think we had to go back 30 minutes. So I had to travel back 30 minutes to get back to where we were. As soon as we got back on the Eatonton Highway,
yeah,
it was 65 miles an hour.
Did it send you down 129 through Madison?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, going up there it did, but on the way back I went around Madison. Obviously went
coming out of Athens. Yeah.
Right.
Coming out of Athens, going back to your house. Yeah, I can see that. I'm surprised they didn't send you to damn 20 and 285 or 20 to 675 to 75, and be glad it didn't, because Hudson Bridge exit, Eagles Landing, Jonesboro.
Well, that time of night, it probably wouldn't really. It would probably just been wide open all the way down. But
on the weekend though,
yeah, you're right. On Saturday night, yeah, I doubt that.
Coming out of Atlanta, coming out of the airport, people trying to get home before Monday.
Yep. But yeah, so got him home somewhere around midnight. I think it was like 12:00 something, or maybe it was like right at 1:00. Yeah, it was right at 1:00. And I got here less than an hour later. And I mean, as soon as I hit the highway, I just set the cruise control and I put it at 75 and rode on out.
Yep.
But yeah, so I had fun up there. Got to see, I didn't get to give him the tour because he was a little kid the last time he was up there. So I didn't get to go. Here's where I used to live. This is where I did go see where I was born. That's the same hospital I was born in. I hear they named a whole floor after me, but I was wrong. It was a janitor's closet.
I was going to say, was it the parking garage?
That would have been better.
That's my ex-wife. Size fits, and anybody can get in. Apparently.
So, but yeah, so I got home and then I slept till I think it was like 10:30 when I got up, man. I tried to do a little bit more. Excuse me. I tried to do a little bit more around here, but I was
2 in the morning.
No. When I got up, I was trying to do stuff around here, around the house, and I was like, man, I'm starving. I need some caffeine. I want to go get something to eat. I came back. I tried to do a little bit more in the carport, clean it up, and I wasn't feeling it. I started moving some stuff, and I was like,
if you just kept the house, you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah. I'm just tired of making these payments.
Buy another house, you're going to be making payments.
It's true.
The amount might change, but the feeling won't. Like paying for tools.
Yeah, really.
You don't want to, but you have to have those tools.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a house, I guess. Well, I mean, not really. I did. I was eyeballing. A tiny house on some land. You have to put 20% down on a to buy land. But if you did a USDA loan, you don't have to put anything down.
Or if you're getting a VA loan.
Stupid. That too. So what did we miss over the last 2 weeks? I know we'll move on. Last Daytona 500. Congratulations to I had it pulled up here and I forgot his name. William Byron. Driver of the number Chevrolet 24 car. Thought I had it. I did have it pulled up. Why did it change? All right, let's back up. There we go. William Byron, Ty Reddick, Jimmy Johnson, Chase Briscoe, John Hunter Nemechek, Nemechek's kid.
What number is Briscoe?
Briscoe is number 19.
Oh, he's 19. Okay. Who's the number 2 car?
Oh, like the number 2 car or the second place car? What are you talking about?
No, number 2 car. A buddy of mine was posting earlier. He's up in Atlanta, or was up in Atlanta watching. He was talking about go number 2, and his wife likes
Austin
number 11.
Cindric.
Okay, I have no idea who that is.
Alex Bowman, Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric, Justin Allgaier finished 9th. And we're talking about the Daytona 500 results. This is a week ago.
Yeah.
And Chris Boucher rounds up the top 10.
It's Boucher.
Is it Boucher?
It looks like Boucher.
Yeah. Well, Buscher.
That could still be Boucher, but a different spelling of it. It might be Boucher. I don't know. I wouldn't know for sure.
But yeah, so they finished out the top 10 of the Daytona 500. And as we are recording this right now, the final results came in for the top 5. I'll give you that. I'll knock out the top 10.
This is amazing.
Christopher Bell. Where'd it go? No. Are they still running? They're still running.
They went into overtime?
No, here it is. Okay. I don't know. My screen glitched or something. It's weird.
Updating.
I wonder where Allgaier finished.
Somewhere in front of the last guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to join in on the conversation. I don't even watch NASCAR.
Oh well. Anyway, they're running the Better Health 400 today in Atlanta, and it finished out. So, congratulations to those guys. But yeah, man, it was Junior's official team owner debut. There's Marine's blood. He made it into the chats. Marines, welcome. We're just covering a little bit of current events. But yeah, and apparently he finished his driver, Justin Allgaier, finished 9th in the number 40 Traveler's Whiskey Chevrolet. So congratulations to Junior Motorsports top 10 finish, which is pretty good for a new race team, which we all know Junior's been in racing since he was little, and everybody know who Junior's father is, Dale Earnhardt. But like I said, congratulations to the winner of Daytona 500 and today's race winner, Christopher Bell. I haven't really had a a guy to follow. I started to follow Chase Elliott. He's a Georgia boy. I don't even know where he finished at. He finished 20th today.
What happened to that one driver from Unadilla?
David Perry, I think was his name.
No, his dad's got a car lot down there.
I thought Tidwell would know.
Dad's got a car lot down there, and he lived here in Perry. Matter of fact, he still has a house off of 341.
Figured he'd chime in the chats.
Who, Tidwell? He might have just been listening.
Yeah. He may just be listening.
Brandon Ford. Or Brandon Motor Company now, because they have everything. What was the name? His last name was Brandon. I can't remember it now.
Let's see.
I don't even think he's racing anymore, to tell you the truth.
We consult the great Google.
For giggles, call Google.
You know the name William Clyde Elliott?
Bill Elliott?
Actually, it's Chase Elliott. They call him his name is William Clyde Elliott, but they call him Chase.
Oh, well, you said William. The only thing I could think
of.
But
yeah, Bill Elliott's his dad.
Yeah. The only thing I could think of was Bill Elliott. That's the only Elliott that I knew or knew of. No, the only one I knew.
David Reagan.
That's
what you're thinking of.
That's it. Yeah. Reagan Ford. Brandon Ford Brandon Motor Company bought them out. That's right. Reagan. He still lives over here off of 341. When you're coming into Perry, it's that little really nice brick house up behind the brick wall with the big iron electric fence. That's his daddy's.
Tell everybody on the webs where David Reagan was.
All I gotta do is look it up. It's public information. Mostly, anyways. But I mean, that's his daddy's old house. And when his daddy bought his daddy's house down in Unadilla, they moved out there. And then, what's his name? The driver. He moved into that.
David Reagan.
Now, yeah, I don't know if he actually still lives there, but I know it's still owned by the family. I put new windows at their dealership down there in Unadilla.
Well, any other name on this except for Bill Elliott, Chase Elliott, David Reagan? Other than that, I have no idea.
Those are all the Georgia boys?
Pretty much. Like the top 5 is a guy named Tim Flock, who was active from 49 to 61. Elliott, 76 to 2012.
Yep.
Chase Elliott, he started in 2015.
Yep.
Jack Smith from 49 to 64.
Wouldn't know that one.
Won 21 races, 95 top 5s, 142 top 10s, and 264 starts with the best points finish of 4th in 62. And Fonty Flock. Active from 49 to 57. I think once the drivers get up past 50 years old and stuff like that, they retire. Flock scored 19 victories, 72 top 5s, 83 top 10s, and 154 starts during his Cup Series career, taking top points finish of 2nd and 51. Dang. Yeah, Chase Elliott was a 2020 champ. 11 wins, 59 top fives, 96 top tens, and 185 races so far as of, I think this was as of 2021 racing season. And I tell you what, though, even though Bill Elliott, his daddy was a Ford Thunderbird racer, there was something about that Talladega race. He was 2 laps down, and he came back from 2 laps down, came back to win the race. 2 laps down. that car,
may have not. I was gonna say that may have not had nothing to do with the car, though.
Oh man, he was driving. Yep, it was a number 9 course Ford Thunderbird. You can go back to YouTube and find the video of that, and he was getting it.
But really, isn't NASCAR racing all the same car now?
It is now.
Same chassis, same motors, basically same full drivetrain. They just put a little body on top of it, and it's kind of somewhat different for each car.
I think the engines are different with makers. Chassis are all the same.
Yeah,
the bodies come from the
outputs of the motors, or the engines and the transmissions and everything. The whole drivetrain is basically the same no matter what. It may be different, built different. You know, this one might get better cooling than this one, or this one gets better mileage than this one. But it's all like they all pretty much have to be the same output. I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
No, as a matter of fact.
Okay. And what are we doing sitting here? We need to be building race cars, damn it.
I mean, I could put in I'll try pulling NASCAR. I actually thought about that. I was watching some Earnhardt Juniors. They were in Kannapolis, or they were in Mooresville. This video I was watching earlier today, or yesterday. Yeah, earlier today. And it was Junior. Somebody got Dale Earnhardt's car, and there's a video on YouTube about it. One of his old Luminas. And it was in Northern Ireland, but when that old man passed away, he willed it to Earnhardt Jr. And for some reason or another, when at the time, whenever they finished racing that car, they took the hood off the car, and it was on top of a barn at Junior's uncle's place, Tony Uri or Senior or somebody's place, and Junior got the hood. So he always had the hood, but he never had the car. And then the old man willed him the car when he passed away. So now he's got a complete old Chevy Lumina, black GM Goodrich.
Overseas,
still has a car. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the same video or a video about that. Yeah.
Yeah. This was like the other day, last week or something.
Yeah, it might have been something you sent me.
Yeah. I think Cletus McFarland was there during the last Dale Jr. download. Man, wouldn't it be cool to have Dale Jr. on our
It'd be cool to have Cletus on our show.
It would.
We need to get a real podcast room before we do fancy people like that.
Well, if I can get a house with some land and put a podcast building out and have my setup instead of a
and wasn't an hour and a half away from where I live, I would actually.
I'm working on that. I'm working at I'm looking to try to find a centralized location so I could be kind of evenly located between, you and Catfit, Alan Tidwell, and, where people actually, man, you live 30 minutes away, but but the great part is here, and it may be the same thing at your place, at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, I can literally walk all the way down my street, not see one person at all.
I see them,
not hear sirens.
Out the windows. What the fuck are they doing walking around this late?
And I don't hear sirens, and I don't hear traffic, and I don't hear all the BS. I mean, yeah, I live in a subdivision, but it's still, it's really quiet.
No, I still hear police sirens and ambulances, but
yeah, we don't.
And traffic, but I live a mile from the highway.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean,
there's always going to be sirens and highway and but you don't hear what I hear.
No.
I got I-75 a mile away.
Anytime I get closer to Perry or Warner Robins or anything like that, I'm like, yeah, I don't miss this at all.
See, you've seen where I live. I mean, yeah, it's that close to the highway, but I could sit out in my front yard with just the street lights and the stars and barely even hear the highway. Even during the daytime, I can barely hear the highway. And it helped. US 41's right next to it. Yeah. And I barely hear that during the day. The only time you really hear it is when you got that fancy kid with the Ford Mustang, the V6 Ford Mustang in the exhaust with the overpriced Forgiato rims.
And with the Shelby badges.
Yeah. I'm actually talking about one car in particular.
Oh.
Daddy money car.
I was joking around, but
no, I get it. That's why I was like, no. I'm actually talking about a real car. I've seen it, and it's funny because it's marked as a GT. I don't know if it has Shelby badges on it, but he made the mistake of popping the hood at a car show one day.
That Mustang.
Yeah, with the blue one with the white stripes.
Yeah. And the GT.
Yes. But he's got he's got 20-inch Forgiatos with some low pro tires on it. You know, the Forgiato's got that little disc in the middle that stays so the F is always up and down.
Yeah.
His are fake. They're clip on. So when he rolls, they roll with it. Like it's like it's like, man, you don't even have real Forgiatos. And those are the ugly Forgiatos. Why would you get fakes of the ugly ones?
Yeah.
Those aren't fake. I paid $6,000 for them. You got ripped off. But anyway, I hear him every now and then crotch rockets.
I understand $1,000 for a set of wheels to an extent.
For a set. Yeah, but over
$6,000.
Over $1,000 per rim
for ugly ones at that.
That's just the metal part, not even the rubber that goes on it. You know how much he spent on the damn rubber that's on them?
Way more than what it's worth.
Depends
on what it is.
It's a 20 with a low pro on it. It's so low pro they can't even put print on the side. Except for, like the date code on it. The wheat year.
I had those on my 95 Civic I had forever ago. But that was on a Civic.
That's still stupid. You go over nail, it's going to puncture a hole in your aluminum rim.
I never had problems out of my suspension or my ride. The thing, believe it or not, it did ride very smooth. I lost a picture of that car in an old Facebook profile I had forever ago. I thought I downloaded all my info, but guess what? I didn't. But
sometimes it's good to leave things in the past. That's probably one of them.
I mean, I like having pictures of my old vehicles.
No, I'm with you. If I had a picture of my 92 Ford Tempo, every time we talk about my old car, I'd pop that up there and go, yeah, but you didn't have one of these ugly sons of guns.
Oh, Lord.
It smoked whether it had oil in it or not.
Except for the one time during my first marriage, I always had a truck. I had a Mazda 626 for a hot minute. I know, don't laugh.
That's about all they run anyways.
And then I had a Nissan Maxima. I don't even remember how I got that car.
$399 probably. That's about what they're worth.
And then I bought my first full-size Ram, a 97 Ram. '97 Ram extended cab, 2-wheel drive.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because 4-wheel drive costs more in gas.
Yeah, believe me, I know.
Less on tires, more in gas.
On the trip up to Athens, it only took a quarter of a tank. That was a 2.5-hour trip.
Yeah, I can't do that in my Jeep.
What?
Drive all the way up there and then drive all the way back on one tank.
Really? Mm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it has some problems, but you also got to remember it's got the oversized aftermarket rims and tires on it.
I mean, mine does too with a 6-inch lift. Well,
lift doesn't really, well, a little bit, but not much.
But
you got to remember
back roads.
You also got to remember I've got that injector that leaks. So I lose fuel, which messes with the mileage.
Yeah, we got to look at that.
It's still leaking.
Pull the fuel rail up and pop the O-ring in.
I don't think it's an O-ring. I think it's the fuel rail.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, moving on. Let's get to our topic after an hour of BS. Which was great. I mean,
oh yeah. That's what it's about.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I did not do the list of the top, but I will pull it up.
I would say the way we should break this down, is the first 10 years is the main part of it, because those are going to be the nostalgia, and then everybody that watches us should know about the second 10 years and beyond. Shouldn't be anybody that's too young to remember the second 10 years from 11 to 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's going to be some in the first 10 years.
Well, I was going to go back to the 80s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The first 10 years.
Yeah.
80 to 90, and then 91 to beyond. Yeah, you figure by the time I was 10, I didn't play with toys anymore. I was outside climbing trees and playing war games with BB guns. Shooting squirrels, cooking them on a campfire.
I always had die-cast cars, man. I always had, like, all the time. That was obviously that's my thing.
You still do. Now. I was gonna say you still do.
Matter of fact, and I don't have a picture of it, but I'll put this on the camera as best I can. I bought this one a couple weeks ago. I don't know how good the camera is on that. Oh, 76. No, 78. It's got the wrong grill in it. It says it's a 78 Power Wagon, but it doesn't have the 78 grill in it.
How rude.
Yeah.
Maybe they ran out. It's got the 79 in it?
No, it's got the 76, 75, 76 grill in it.
Oh, it's probably because they ran out. It was right at the end of 78 when they made it. They're running out of grills, didn't want to make new ones. Oh, dude, that's nice. I love the paint.
It's a Power Wagon. I don't know if you can really tell.
Oh, yeah. If you quit moving it, it'll focus. No, we can't see what's written on it. Like, Be My Valentine. I love Care Bears. My Little Pony.
Sweethearts. Sweethearts Candy Power Wagon has it written on the side on the fender right there.
That's pretty cool.
And on the bed. It's got the roll bar in it and everything. But yeah, man, there's like these are what really started mine. I know for a fact, my fascination with cars. I had thousands of Matchbox cars, man, growing up. And I lost half of them a couple times. This time, I mean, I've been rebuilding most of my diecast now, or if you can imagine, and for people who are listening, they are all Dodges. I've been slowly buying Dodge trucks, power wagons, Rams, tow trucks, cab overs by a company called M2 that makes them. Little badge right there. Usually find these at Walmart like $5-6 a piece, and they're highly, highly detailed. Oh, it is a 78 grill. I see that now.
I mean, I couldn't tell. I wouldn't know the difference. I'm not even going to try and lie.
Let's see. Yeah, it's a 78 grill. No, it says 79. It's got a tag on the front that reads 79, but
the box says 78.
No, it says 79 on the logo too.
Oh, okay. There you
79
go.
Dodge 150 Macho Power Wagon. But the grill's wrong.
Rude.
Yeah, good job, M2. You made the grill's wrong.
Send it back. We don't want it no more. and as where Matchbox cars got you into cars. I was a military brat, so I moved around too much. But
yeah,
I'll show you what got me into cars. Crap, where'd it go? That sitting in my backyard.
Ooh. The 396 car?
Badged as a 396, but it wasn't a 396.
Oh.
There were only 2 of them in 1972 that were made in red. Jerry had one of them, and it sat in the back of my grandmother's backyard the entire time I knew of that car. That was the reason why I got into cars. Was a 72 convertible in that candy apple, whatever the red was, with those black stripes, with a tarp on it most of my entire life before Grandma sold it.
Let's see if I can find.
That's what got me into cars. And I didn't really get into cars until I moved to Georgia when I was roughly 9 years old, and actually spent time in the backyard mowing around that car and weed eating around that, pulling weeds out from underneath the car. Like, I took care of the car before I ever took care of the car.
Right.
And that's what really got me into cars. Now, toys, on the other hand, I had all sorts of Matchboxes growing up, but they were just toys to me because I didn't understand the significance of those. Plus, like I said, being a military brat, we moved all the time. Sometimes just in the same town, find a better home, move there. And every time we moved, toys went to the farm or to other needy kids, or sometimes just in the trash. I could not tell you how many Legos I've been through in my. I could probably build a real 2-story house with Legos, with all the Legos I've lost.
I got into diecasts, and we moved around a lot because Mom at the time was married to Andy, and I probably made reference to him a few times on here. And I know I can remember as a little kid being in Germany counting my cars, and I had 150 diecast, Matchbox, Hot Wheels. I mean, those were the two back in the 80s. And, and some of my favorites were always the little pickup trucks and some of the vans, and one that was like the 57. And we mentioned this, we talked about this the other day. 57 Bel Air, black with the flame on the front.
Yep.
That if you still had that in a blister pack, you would bring a pretty good chunk of change with it.
Yep.
Let's see, Hot Wheels. It was black with flame.
Oh,
But
there's
that
a
fascination
helicopter.
with those cars, man. I mean,
See, that's why I hate it now, man. You had a fascination with your toys. I didn't. They were just toys to me because, like I said, every time we moved, I ended up with new toys later on. So I never got to make a real connection with the toys and real life. But half the stuff I had, thankfully, my parents didn't have to buy. But I
yeah,
mean, and this, I'm pretty sure this was the same for you. Getting the new toy was easy up until like 1985 when the Nintendo came out. Because nothing was really expensive when it came to toys. They were all cheaply made Chinese plastic
there we go.
or molded or die cast cars. Yeah, that one. Yep. Yep.
Yep. And man, I was picky. I mean, I guess I was a little butthole when I was with my cars because, like, my cousins
Still
and my
are.
friends, they would just very much. They
Don't
would
touch
just
it!
take them and run them up against the wall and run them into each other and scratch them up. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Throwing them down the hallway.
Yeah. Let's build a ramp and we can jump them. Not these. Not you see these 10 right here? No.
Yeah, no, don't touch those. Yep, I was the same.
And I would watch, there again, watch Dukes of Hazzard and Knight Rider and all that back then. And
Play them out
and
in the hallway and in your bedroom.
yeah, had them on my bed, and I would use my pillows like as a mountain range, and have a little town. I used to take little boxes and take my school glue
Yep.
and cut up boxes, shoe boxes, and different little, whatever I could find to make houses and
Anytime
little
mama threw a
garages.
box away, you snatched it up, folded it inside, or cut one edge, folded it inside out, and used the interior to
Yep.
create. Yep. Oh, yeah. Right there with you, brother.
Take a marker and
You sure we
draw a
didn't play
sign on the
together as
front.
kids?
I mean, I had fun, dude. I can't,
Oh, yeah.
When it was raining or, I was grounded from because I was a butthole or something like that, grounded to my room for a week where I can just come out, take a shower, eat dinner, and go back to my room. I went through
I
a lot
never
of
got that. Mama would just factory reset me every week.
that.
Back when you could do that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, Daddy wasn't home. He was in the Navy and he was gone 6 months, home 6 months. So he only had to do that to me once. So when he was home for 6 months, Mama didn't have to factory reset me no more because Daddy would do it. And I didn't want to be reset back to factory settings.
Yeah.
He'd give me a full reboot.
Let's
with a boot.
Default.
Yeah. Erase memory.
And just that fascination, like I was just no. I took care of my cars, took care of I played. Now some of them, and I did collect some of the die casts that were like monster trucks and outdoor.
I was gonna say, did you have outside cars and inside cars?
Yes.
Yep. I had the same thing. Matter of fact, the last 10 Matchbox cars or Hot Wheels cars that I had, I just recently gave to Jason. I found them in storage in one of my boxes. And I gave most of them. There was a small Christmas cookie tin with a bunch of small toys in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that it had all my Matchbox cars that I had when I was younger that I saved that were my favorites. And matter of fact, 2 of them were the blue dump trucks with the orange bed. The little I love those things. But he's still got them and he plays with them. He actually takes care of them, although they're all like dented up and paint chipped and all that. I mean, they were used, played with. Like I said, I didn't have a connection with toys like you did with your Matchbox, but I do have some of my favorites that I recently gave to Jason. He loves Matchbox cars, especially monster trucks and excavators, and he could tell you all about those things. Funny kid.
Let's see. But I mean, it was just, I don't have anything from childhood that I could have handed down to my kids. Most of the stuff that I've gotten now is pretty much I've gotten as an adult because like I said a few times, I've lost my entire collection. One time I had an apartment got broken into, a place I was living in. It was a sketchy area.
I'm about
That's
to
why
show
I was
you
trying
something.
to get out of there as soon as I could. But by the time I made that first trip and then came back, and my entire apartment was like it wasn't even an apartment, it was a duplex. That's what it was. And it was empty. They even took the fridge. Yeah. And my diecast was gone. I had to start over. I was able to get like my Earnhardt stuff out of there first. But when I went back to get my other diecast and my other boxes, I'd worked that weekend. I worked a 3-day stretch working at the prison. And when I got off that when I got off that Monday morning, I went and crashed out, came back to the apartment, and it was emptied. And the landlord and the supervisor didn't know. Oh, I don't know what happened. Yeah,
right. Yeah, you gave somebody the keys.
Yep.
So
it's funny how the stove in the fridge of the duplex is gone, but you don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So your connection with your toys turned into not only your hobby, but your job.
Right.
Right. So you became a mechanic because of your love of cars from when you were a child.
And I mean, not only that, but even going to car shows and just walk around dreaming and just, man, if I could,
Here's why I'm into video games so much.
Okay. We'll make the screen bigger here. Oh, yeah. All right.
This is an original. The only thing it's missing is the sticker on the bottom. And it still works.
You got batteries in it?
All original. No, God, you don't leave batteries in these things, man.
Well, I figured you put them in there for this, but
no, I don't. Do they even make these kind of batteries anymore?
Turn it on. Bleep, 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 bleep.
Beep, 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 beep. That's all it does. Size C. I need 4 C batteries, and I can show you that it works. But that's the only. I'm gonna throw it on the ground. That's the bottom plate. There's this little square that's here. That's the only sticker that's missing. And the reason why it's missing is because it got hot and moving, and it was that waxy adhesions paper.
Yeah.
And the guys that were moving our furniture at the time dropped the box, so it busted open. And when they were picking it up, the guy ripped it. Not ripped it off, but it slid right off of it, and he threw it away.
It came off of it, yeah.
And he threw it away. But everything else is still. I mean, it's dusty as shit because it's been sitting over here on this desk since I moved in here.
You can move in there like a year or two before I moved into my place.
Something like that. I've been here for 4 years. But my father gave me that. That was the first video game I ever actually saw besides the Atari.
Right.
But that was at my grandmother's house where my older brother lived. I mean, I've still got I've got 3 regular Nintendos sitting over here behind me on a shelf.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just been surrounded by electronic video games my entire memorable life.
And that for me, that's what it was growing up. It was just being surrounded by, especially off-road vehicles.
Yeah.
And some of my greatest memories. Some of my greatest memories were riding down some, matter of fact, you know where it's at, but our listeners may not know, but and I know Tidwell does, but there's a place east of here called Bond Swamp, and we go riding off in there. It's been or so years since I've been down in there, but Bond Swamp, riding off in there in Daddy's Jeep or his Power Wagon that he had that I eventually would become mine. But it all started, when we were kids with the diecast and watching Dukes of Hazzard and watching The Fall Guy and Knight Rider and stuff like that. And I was like an inside kid to an extent, but that's because I didn't have a whole lot of friends in the neighborhood that I would go hang out with. I'd be outside, but I would have outside right off, I can remember, right off of the carport. The grass really wasn't growing right around here. It was underneath the tree. And I made a little dirt road track around right there. And I, like you said, outside cars and inside cars. And I would, make the course, as a little kid, you pushing. All right. So it was last week. But anyway, pushing the car, making the engine noise and the tire screeching when you're driving around and car. I never had a Hot Wheels track. I guess because I never asked for one.
Or because you was a country boy and your parents knew you'd take it outside and ruin it. I was a city boy and stayed inside with all my toys most of the time. So I had Hot Wheels tracks.
I didn't want to get hit with a Hot Wheels track if I made somebody mad.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't have them anymore.
Not gonna give them the weapon, man.
You didn't have grandma say, go pick your own Switch.
No. Nope. Mom and Daddy whooped us with a belt. Yeah.
I would have rather had the belt. I'd rather had the belt. I rarely got a Switch though. I wasn't really that bad. I was a good kid.
I mean,
I'm popping in the background going bullshit.
Let's bring Pop on. Let's see how that conversation goes.
No.
But like I said, man, and it just became this fascination. I'd walk through, and Mama was always cool. She was like, she would shop at Walmart. This is way before Super Walmarts came around and all that other jazz. So you go to a grocery store to get groceries, and if you wanted household items, you'd go to Walmart. Clothes, socks, shoes, T-shirts, all the cleaning supplies, blah 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 blah.
Same as Kmart. I was a Kmart baby. Of course, I was mostly out on the West Coast, so we didn't have Walmart.
I was wondering how far Walmart stretched back then. Was it just like a southeast thing for a while?
Well, it started in North Carolina. If I'm correct, it started in North Carolina and it spread out from there. But when I say it started in North Carolina, it was
not Walmart. I think Walmart started in Kansas somewhere.
Hold on, let me look. Sam Walton opened the first. Oh, it was Arkansas. My bad.
Oh yeah.
And then it spread east. From what I understood.
Yeah.
And that was in 62.
Wow. That's when he started his first one. Yeah. He expanded to Florida and Nebraska in 82. 81 was Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina.
Yep. And we didn't get one in Warner Robins until 86 because I remember when they cut those trees down to build what is now the Big Lots.
Oh, yeah. That was Walmart there.
We used to come visit Grandma, and we'd drive right down Watson to go to the Daily Sun where Grandma worked. She worked at the local paper, owned by a guy in New York, and I can't remember his name. He was a good guy, though.
And, but there again, it goes back to the, being on my knees, like the song Pickup Man, drove 100,000 miles on my knees, little pickup truck, Tonka. Matter of fact, Lumber Chef, which he's not in the chats right now, Lumber Chef, a buddy of mine, we were talking Hang on. Just got some news. Yeah, I'd share that news with you off camera.
All right.
Just for those who are who listen here, who really pray or anything like that, just pray for my uncle. But you know, there again, it goes back, like I said, you know, 100,000 miles on your knees, you know, with little pickup trucks, Tonka toys. That's what it was. That's where I left off.
Yep.
Lumber Chef, we were talking on the phone the other night, and you know, I still have, matter of fact, one of my now ex-wife, one of her kids, her youngest son's Tonka truck, the dump truck, I saved it. You know, I was like, man, you have no idea, because he was little whenever she and I first got together. He could actually sit in the thing, and the house we lived in had a real steep driveway. You know, you remember this, Turtle?
Like my old
driveway. He would sit in the bucket and ride it down the driveway. And I was like, man, you're too big to be riding in that now. And you know, I was like, how about we just kind of keep it to the side for you to play with? And when we moved here, he started not showing interest anymore because he discovered Game Boy Switch and all the electronic games, which, you know, but there again, that leads us into the video games we like to play so much.
Yep.
You know, gosh, what was your first automotive video game that you can remember?
Pole Position.
Pole Position. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Look up the arcade Pole Position. And if you really want to get technical about it, and you'd have to kind of bend and twist your mind for this one, but we can go as far back as tanks for Atari. That's kind of automotive, right? It's automotive and military, because you only had tanks and you drove the tank.
So for those of you who don't know, there we go. Is that the right one? I think that's the right one. Does that look right?
Here, I'm trying to bring up a. Yeah, that's it. Not that big old box thing though. That came later, but that game, yeah. Here, let me. Yeah, this one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was my first original
with the steering wheel. Oh my god!
And a shifter, dude. And you remember
high and low?
Yeah.
Wasn't that what it was? High and low?
High and low. It didn't have a reverse. You just you're basically just turning the car and the road comes to you. It's like here's the car. My other hand is the road. And then you turn like this.
Back and forth.
Yep. That was my first video game when it came to automotive. Second one that I can remember, Excite Bike for Nintendo.
We had one. It was, I mean, I could care less. It was, as long as it was something with wheels, some kind of racing game, car game, I didn't care. I think. Let me see.
Green Tank 10. I remember that game. That was the first arcade racing game. Or Grand Track 10. Sorry, I was reading 3 different things at one time.
There was something. It was a motorcycle racing game on Sega. Yeah, I had the first Sega Genesis in my neighborhood.
I still got mine. You should come over and play Mortal Kombat with me. Mortal Kombat 2, actually.
I like Tekken better.
We're talking about Sega.
But yeah.
There was no Tekken when Mortal Kombat 2 was out.
No, there was not. And then I laugh at all the kids playing Street Fighter.
Grand Track 10. I'm trying to remember what it looked like, but I remember that.
Good Lord. I mean, hours and hours and hours wasted on
Virtua Racing on Sega. 1992. Ridge Racer.
Was it Ridge Racer? Let me look.
93. Virtua Racer was the first Sega one that I remember. Everything else was on Atari. And I mean, unless you want to consider Excite Bike on Nintendo.
Ridge Racer 3D on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm. Of course, then I had some of the other fancy automotive toys like the Transformers.
Yeah. I never had any Transformers.
I had a bunch of them, and don't ask me what all their names were, but I did have this wonderfully blue and red truck with a silver trailer that I never transformed because I could never figure it out.
You know who that is.
I know who it is, but I'm just not saying the name because nobody ever believes you actually have that thing or had that thing. I don't really care. I'm not here to prove anything to anybody, but it's like one of those.
Right.
I never really got to see mine transformed because I never transformed it. I tried once. It was too confusing. I just turned it back into a truck and drove it around my bedroom.
I mean,
and threw all the other ones in the back. Because I used to watch the cartoon, and that's what they would do. They would all hop on the back of the trailer, right?
And yeah.
Yeah, well, I can only put like 2 in there because the trailer actually opened up into a base station, which that wasn't hard to figure out. It was just a cap. Pop it open.
An old friend of mine years ago gave me, well, I hadn't seen her in years, but her son gave me that truck, but it was the newer model. It was all blue with black flames.
Mm.
And I had it sitting over here of course, I had to box everything up, but I had it sitting over here on the shelf for a while. It was just that semi, just sitting there chilling.
Yep.
Looking like a old long-nosed Western star.
Did you ever have any of like the action figures and stuff from the 80s? I had a lot of stuff like that.
Some action figures. I had G.I. Joes. Somehow, I don't know how I ended up with them. I can't remember. But I was always, I remember having a model cars, and then people would start buying me the model cars that were already put together, the die cast, the metal model cars that I would actually have to put together myself.
No way. Not you. I'm looking at something I did not know existed.
But I would try and modify them. I'd pull them apart, paint them different colors, paint the interior a different color, paint the scuff the body a little bit, and go get some paint and spray them a different color.
Did you know Datsun made a car-themed video game in 1976?
No, I did not know that.
Oh, God. What? Oh, back that up. Back that ass up. Look that up. 1976, Datsun made the first car-themed video game. That, my friend, would be awesome.
Let's see. Datsun video game?
Yep. Zap. Z-Z-Z-A-P apostrophe. May not come up like that, but I'm also sharing the picture too. So
okay. Ooh. Yeah, that's the one I was. Hang on, I forgot to plug in my laptop when I moved it downstairs.
Here we go. We're gonna lose everything now.
I think I'm good now. Yeah, the "Hey dummy, you're losing power" message popped up.
Hey Dodo, plug me in.
I was like, oh yeah, might need to do that.
But yeah, I mean, I've never seen this, but this is just proof that even in the 70s, automotive companies were really trying to get their names out there.
Right. Well, because if you could influence the kids,
you'll have a customer for life.
Yeah, if you can influence kids, you can have a customer for life. And
now people are still buying Fords. I know, it's pitiful.
I mean, because who didn't? As big as I am, and all my 260 pounds, which I've lost weight, and
so
6 foot tall.
259 now?
Yeah. As according to when you go to a doctor, where they take off 4 or 5 pounds for clothes, subtract that automatically.
Usually around 8 is what I was always told.
Okay, so hell, if you take off 8 pounds, I'm down to 250 something.
Oh, welcome, Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler S. What's going on, brother? Tyler, we're talking about our die-cast cars and toys and collectibles and video games, automotive video games. You know, we're talking about the older days and leading up to current.
Different stuff we didn't have that we wish we had, like this Zap game. I want to find one now. That and pole position would be cool as shit to have in my man cave, dude.
Yeah, you got to make room for it.
Says who?
I mean, where would you put it?
In my man cave. I don't have a man cave yet.
Oh. I was like, that's where you're at, aren't you?
No, this is my office. This is my office. I'm going to build a man cave in the pool, where the pool is.
That's right. Yeah, we talked about it. That's right.
I'm gonna turn that into the man cave. And then on top of that is going to be the garage. The glass house garage. Yeah. Turtle's slow-mo speed shop. That's where that's going to be. That's where it all started.
But let's see. Yeah, Marine's blood still lurking.
Yep.
Thank y'all for joining us. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, follow, hit the automatic download on Spotify and iHeart, Amazon Music. There was another. Another one I was thinking about linking up with, but I don't remember what it's called right now. It'll come to me later. I didn't write it down. But and then you get into the 90s. You know what? We had PlayStation. Did you ever play the game Driver?
Yeah. The one game that nobody could pass the opening scene.
Oh God.
Until you went and looked it up on the internet when it came 20 years later.
Now I can go back and beat that part of the game.
And finally get into the game. No, you just borrowed somebody else's save file where their older brother beat the beginning, and you went and got their save file for the PlayStation 1. The little cards.
Yep. Yeah. The PlayStation.
And then you transfer it to one of your memory cards, give them their memory card back, and they go on about their business. You could play the game then.
God, it's so great.
Still have that.
I'm watching a video clip of Driver. If I can get it to play.
I wouldn't. Gotta be careful with that stuff.
And we thought them graphics were like,
it was hot back then, dude. I'd love to see them remake that for the PS5 and the Xbox.
Yeah.
I would love to see them remake Driver, not another Driver game. No, take the original Driver and remake it for today's standard. Do it on PC, it would look even 40 million times better.
Tyler said Driver pissed me off. And older brother. Oh, yep. Man.
Metal Gear Solid. Oh, stop it. God.
That's different. Well, I guess that's for this episode too.
My gray beard's showing again, isn't it? Damn it, man.
Micro Machines, toys. I played Driver, Test Drive. And they just had a TV show about it now, not too long ago, or last year. Twisted Metal.
Oh yeah, they had a movie on it. They made a movie.
There's a short series on one of the streaming services.
Did you ever have a Nintendo 64?
Never had a Nintendo.
Greatest driving game of the 90s. I don't care what anybody says.
Okay.
Cruising USA. Cruising USA.
I played that on arcade a lot at the bowling alley.
Yeah, but it was better on 64 than it was at the arcade. Sadly enough.
If you hit the throttle twice, the front end was.
And you get the flames coming out the bed. Yeah, see, cruising USA.
Yep.
So many hours. Hours? You only played for hours? I missed days of school because of that game. I'm sick, Mom. Take a sip of Epicac.
Oh, God.
That's how serious my addiction was, man, to video games.
Was?
Yeah. I don't have an addiction now.
Yeah, sure. I can quit anytime I want to.
No. I have a degree in game design. I'm doing research. It's like a pharmacist. He can't have a drug problem. Right? He can't have a drug problem. He's a pharmacist. That's not a drug problem. He's doing research.
I think GoldenEye is the weak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I never had a Nintendo. I didn't play GoldenEye. There again, I was always, and I played Metal Gear Solid.
Mm-hmm.
And then Metal Gear Solid 2, and I don't remember when I quit playing it.
Solid Snake was the last one that I played.
I think that was the last one that I played too. Then we discovered Call of Duty. And that's
I'd always been around Call of Duty in the war games. Big Red 1.
Yeah.
Hours. What was the other one? Command and Conquer.
Yeah.
Oh, Command and Conquer Red Alert. Still have it. Still play it. I've got the upgraded version where it's got it's one disc, but it has or one download, but it has Command and Conquer the first one, all of the additions, and then Command and Conquer Red Alert, which was the second one, all of the additions, and then I think there was one or two more Call of Duties, Command and Conquers, and then there was Command and Conquer Generals, which just basically went back and played all of the original stuff plus more. And oh my goodness.
StarCraft, you lost me there. I don't know.
StarCraft. Oh my god. Nerd. But I'm not I'm right there with you. Yeah.
God, it went from Driver and then
no. Don't mention Warcraft. You cannot. No, we're not allowed to go that far. Nerd. You're not allowed to let your nerd show that much. No.
Yeah, your nerd showing.
Your nerd showing. Don't do that.
And it smells like loser. I'm just kidding. I'm not calling anybody a loser.
Oh my god. Yeah, Warcraft was like the original Warcraft, not the World of Warcraft. He's talking about Command and Conquer with orcs. It was beautiful. Slug. Lord Duke.
Lost me.
Or the Murlocs. Oh my god.
When was the first?
If you know, you know. Smells like dirty socks. Yes. You were an Alliance nerd. Get out of here. Horde forever. Naked Soul.
Grand Theft Auto was released in 97. Ported to PlayStation in 98.
Yep.
Game Boy Color in 99.
Top down. And that was you talking about Grand Theft Auto 1?
Yeah, very first.
That was top down 2D.
GTA 2 was released in 99.
Yep.
PlayStation and Game Boy Color.
Yep.
Even then, man, we thought the graphics were amazing.
And depending on how you looked at graphics back then.
Well,
for that style of game, yes, it was. It was immaculate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was for that style back then.
Yeah,
and
I just wasn't into top-down games at that point because I had played so many side view scrolling games and top-down scrolling games. I was done with it.
Yeah, and I like the.
His nerd is definitely showing.
Kingpin Monkey Island.
Don't get into Monkey Island. Don't do it. That is a rabbit hole that Google wasn't ready for.
Yeah, y'all are way too. Yep, y'all's nerdism has severely surpassed mine.
Oh yeah. I'm over here butt naked. My nerdism is showing so bad. Especially if he said Monkey Island. Oh my god, I spent hours playing that game when I shouldn't have been playing it. That was an adult game. Like there was no visual adult stuff in it. But some of the things you had to do in that game, I shouldn't have had any idea what was going on at 12 years old.
What was the first characters in Grand Theft Auto?
You? I don't think he really had a name. It was just a top-down, you play as a character that runs around stealing cars and running from the cops. I don't think there really was a point in it.
Yeah.
The first one or the second one. The third one's when they started the stories, I believe. When there was an actual like storyline to play.
Yeah.
There was like a campaign, if you will. Whereas in the first two, it was just a game. You just survive as long as you can and get as many stars as you can and try and hide and get rid of the stars and then go do it again. Basically what we were doing earlier.
Yeah.
Full throttle. Oh, sorry, full throttle. Yeah, full throttle.
Turtle.
I don't think I ever played that one. I played a different game called Full Throttle. It's kind of like that, I guess. Oh, gracious.
Full throttle. Yeah.
But Tyler, if I ever start streaming my video games again, you can come nerd out with me because I might be streaming like old regular Nintendo stuff. Like full on Super Mario Brothers, the first one.
Oh man. That'd be cool, dude. Well, I mean, that's actually why
come over
I
and you could be Luigi.
That's why I started this whole podcast thing. Is we talk about the old stuff and our old experiences and stuff like that. We might touch a little bit on current events that have anything associated with what we love. You know, NASCAR. Like even Cletus McFarland started in NASCAR Daytona last week.
Oh yeah,
and he
wrecked
out. He got tangled up in he got tangled up in an accident, which wasn't his fault, but it's what we love, man. You know, video games and cars and guns and.
I mean, he started like we did.
Music.
He started like we did. He was into cars. He did, a little bit of this. Like, I think he started with kart racing, but not like serious kart racing, like just kind of the neighborhood, kind of pissing off the local PD and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're right, Tyler. It's crazy to see Cletus racing. I mean, he's not in like NASCAR, is he?
No, he's on the step below the
Apex or whatever it is.
The Xfinity series.
Xfinity. Yeah. But still,
he's not in a big cup car, but
still that's closer than I have ever gotten. I mean, granted, he's done a lot more things than I've ever done, but still, it's still amazing to see that he went from just being a YouTube personality with drag racing and playing around to being one of the top drag racers in the Southeast, to being, buying his own track. Now he's part owner of the drag strip that made him who he is, which was right next door to his track. So it's like, wow. And yeah, he did start off with a cell phone, doing YouTube videos, and the Cletus McFarland thing was an accident. He was working for 1320 videos, doing a lot of their stuff. And he just happened to be outside. Was it not Steve Morris? The other guy that had the orange, I think it was an orange or yellow Camaro. It was a street car. I'm trying to remember his name. But anyway, he was real fast too. Yeah. Completely.
Yeah.
Tyler. Completely. And that's what this show is about. Us talking about other people living our dreams. We're too old to live our dreams. We'll get in trouble.
Well, we're not too old, but
we're too old. We're too old.
My reoccurring dream now is just to have fun doing this, continue to have fun doing this, and at some point when I'm able to sell this house, because
buy a motorcycle.
To be honest with you, I've been very lazy at it, but build a shop and then make videos of me building trucks. And I have matter of fact, a new project that was on my list of stuff we were going to talk about. I got the old co-host, semi part-time, every once in a while co-host, Dan Atkinson. He approached me the other day with a body style of a Dodge truck that I absolutely love. As a matter of fact, it's an old 75 D100. And he was like, "Hey man, it's a chassis and a body. It needs some work. It used to be a drag truck." I was like, "Okay." And I'll get that. I'll pick up that truck for a little next to nothing, and have another project truck. And there's been a reason why I haven't touched my 87 because I don't have a title for it, and I really wasn't sure what to do. But the 75 body that I'm getting from Dan Atkinson has a clean title to it.
You don't need a title for a truck that old.
For a 75, I don't know, but it's still cool to have either. I thought it was 86.
25 years old, man.
I don't know.
It's an antique.
And there's some stuff that I saw in that 87 that I really didn't like, and I was like, well, I'll just part it out. And
yeah.
I know a couple guys who need some stuff off of that old square body, so
kind of want that.
And
cab.
The 70s, huh?
I kind of want that cab.
Okay.
Turn it into a golf cart. Just the cab of it. You know what I mean?
My wife prohibits dreams. My wife prohibits dreams.
Do you have kids? Those are my only prohibitors right now. Well, I mean, besides the fact that I'm already living my dream. But I gave up 11 years of my life in order to do that without the idea that I would even be in this situation. So,
yeah, man. But, that's
Sacrifice.
The next project going to come down to, and when I do that, I'll probably, make a video series, Bosco's Garage, and we just tinker with stuff. And
I'll move my bike over there.
Tinker with trucks. And, I'm working on building a Hemi, 5.7 Hemi engine that I have. And a 360 engine out of a Little Red Express. Y'all know that's my favorite. It's like the Little Red Express is my dream to your Chevelle.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know that, but
yep.
And oddly enough, this 2-wheel drive Dodge pickup is actually a short bed. So if I found a step side bed, then I could possibly build a clone. Little Red Express.
Mm-hmm.
Do I really want to?
Just don't make it a Little Red Express clone. Make it a clone of the Little Red Express and call it Little Slightly Not Red Anymore. You know what I mean? Like, add some comedy to it, but don't be like trying to disrespect nobody that actually has one.
Right. Which, I mean, there's Little Red, and honestly, technically the name's actually Little Red Truck.
Yes.
People get it confused. It's calling it Little Red Express because it has Express on it, but it's Little Red Truck.
Yeah.
Is actually the real name. But no, man, I mean, that's usually coming down the pipe, and hopefully I'll find I bought a couple places out of town that has, a house with, some acreage, or just looking at some acreage, and I'll park So I was approached by my uncle last night up in South Carolina. By the way, speaking of motorcycles and all that, I found a Harley Davidson dirt bike in the woods.
What year?
I don't know. I have to go up there and look. But he said if I come up there and help him clean out this red building that he's got, because he took over.
Who said this?
My uncle.
Okay.
My Uncle Gary. He said I come up there and help him clean out the red building, big red shop. It's a huge red shop. Metal building. Come up there and help him, then I can get a big Airstream trailer for Airstream camper for free. I was like, Airstream? It's free.
Yeah, but free with trying to bring it home and it's falling apart on the way home is not free.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like,
I figured check the lights on it. He said the lights work. All the lights work. It needs tires.
Yeah, but how well is the body on it? How bad is the interior?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it might be free, but if it's just a utility trailer made out of aluminum, it's not going to be enjoyable at all.
Look, there's Foxy. Finally made it. Foxy's here.
And
kind of towards the end, but
yeah,
she made it.
God,
click the like.
Extended it a whole nother hour just for you,
right? Click the like and subscribe, Foxy. I'd say your real name, but everybody knows you as Foxy. While cleaning,
and the subscribe button's over there somewhere.
Yeah, I think the like is over here.
You're above the subscribe button. Your microphone.
I gotta look on YouTube. How does this show up?
That's what I'm doing. I'm looking. Yeah. You're on the big screen.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm over the like button. No, I'm over the subscribe button.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're over the subscribe button. Yeah. I'm over the like button. Right there. Like this.
Yeah.
No, don't. No, yeah, right there.
Yeah.
No thumbs.
Click this one below.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
77 T-Bird.
Ooh, that's a big car.
That's a boat.
Yeah.
With an anchor.
Matter of fact, anybody who's listening or watching, yeah, comment below. I want to know what cars you want. Like I said, I'm a Dodge guy. I have 3 of them out there. One's about to be parted out. I'm picking up the 75 from Dan P. Atkinson, Flapper Atkinson, at some point. That and the transmission to go behind that 360. And I'll take 3 different trucks and piece and make one. Boop, boop. And a transmission, a cross member out of one truck, a door off another truck, the dash and interiors coming out of the 87, and suspensions coming out of the 87. So yeah. Ooh. But yeah, like I said, my very first truck was 76 Power Wagon. Slant 6. 3 on the tree. Manual steering, no power steering. But I had power brakes.
Power steering.
Power right here.
Yeah, right here.
Big steering wheel.
Yeah,
no
big
power
19
steering.
Inch, big 19-inch steering wheel. Got your foot up on the dash. You're like,
yeah. Look it over. Then I learned you start rolling a little bit. You start rolling a little bit, and then you start turning.
Yep.
That makes it a lot easier.
Oh, yeah. Or when you start rolling, you start cranking it as hard as you can to get it all the way to the left or the right, depending on which way you're turning. And
yeah, Tyler, you know what a 3 on the tree meant?
And you power brake it and then dump the clutch. Spin it around.
And he said, shows age. Ah, man.
Nothing wrong with that.
You're right.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong.
I did have my very first one that I bought was a 66 Jeep J3000. It was built by Kaiser, like you mentioned earlier.
Yep.
The guy that bought Willis out.
Yep.
And it had 3 on the tree. Had power steering, but no power brakes. So my next vehicle, the one I actually drove, because I traded that J3000 in for the Power Wagon. But yeah, it had no power steering but power brakes. I learned how to that's what broke me off of getting off of video games for a while, because I spent all my time and extra money and extra everything I had on that Power Wagon. And mom and daddy owned the 2 houses, grandparents' houses, and I had to park my truck in me and my papa's old house at that house. So all my tools and everything were in that truck. And yeah, I'd get off work and go and spend, do all the brakes, replace all the rubber brake lines, replace all the rubber fuel lines, drop the fuel tank, have the carburetor rebuilt, put a new clutch in it. What else did I do? Did the tires, dig the exhaust, which was a slant 6 engine, tried to fix the exhaust leak, fix the shifter linkage. And
Baby
for some reason,
baby weld. Yeah.
Well,
I got
on slant 6s, there's something that was a horrible design that Dodge could never figure out, and I don't know why they didn't just make the exhaust manifold and the intake manifold 2 separate deals, because the intake manifold and exhaust manifold were on top of each other.
Yeah, it's sandwiched.
And which I'm right at the camera, so it was like this, and bolted. The intake manifold bolted on top of the exhaust manifold, and that's where it would leak. And unless you had money and bought a header for it, they made headers for slant 6s. Torque monster all day long. Horsepower? Nah, not really. Especially in a 4-wheel drive.
But it would drag anything across the farm.
Man. And, to this day, I still wish it. Yeah. I would give up
everything but the General.
My 2000.
You'd give up everything but the General? Or not the General, but the...
Yeah.
Yeah, the General.
Yeah.
You'd give up everything but the General.
Everything but the General for that old Power Wagon.
Yep.
Has to be a long bed Power Wagon.
Yep.
But that 75 I'm getting from Dan is actually a short bed 2-wheel drive truck. And my buddy DJ, as a matter of fact, he presented this question to me the other day when I showed him the picture. He was like, "You gonna make it 4-wheel drive?" I was like, my brain stopped for a second. I was like, I wasn't thinking about it until now. Thanks.
No.
No, don't do it. I don't want to.
No, it's not worth it.
That's a lot of more work. It's a lot more parts.
Besides that, when are you going to drive it?
Yeah.
Is it going to be your daily driver to and from work?
I mean, I have 2 4-wheel drive trucks. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, once I get it running.
But you see what I'm saying? You've already got 2 4-wheel drive trucks. You don't need another 4-wheel drive just because you can. That's going to be your baby truck. You want to baby it. You want to be able to stomp on the gas and smoke the tires just to piss off that kid in the V6 Mustang.
Yeah.
But
the V6 GT Mustang?
Yeah, the V6 GT Mustang with the 4 Giottos. The fake 4 Giottos that he paid $6,000 for. Every time I think about that car, I just go, this is the reason why I do not like Fords.
It's like the V6 Challenger is riding around with the RT badges. Have you seen that one?
Those are actually RTs.
No. Not a V6. They never, ever, ever, ever made a V6 RT Challenger.
Not originally.
Or Charger.
Not originally. When they started making the newer ones, they made the RTs with V6s.
No, they didn't.
Okay.
No. A matter of fact, I saw one the other day with the Hellcat badge on it. It was a V6.
Yeah. I've seen those. Yeah.
I went, no.
Yeah. I seen a Demon that was actually a Scat. No. That was funny. Yeah, the 392 Scat Pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basic motor with some bolt-ons. They had taken the Scat badges off of it and put Demon badges on it with the big Demon decals across the whole back end of the car. I was looking at
better than this.
I was looking at it going, you don't even have the proper hood for that to be a Demon.
I saw a mid-90s
on it. Go ahead.
Mid-90s Roadmaster, or late 90s Roadmaster, sorry. with a Hellcat badge on the back window, the Hellcat decal on the back window. The Buick. And I actually took a picture of it. I don't remember who I sent it to. I'm not sure if I sent it to you or not. I know I sent it to DJ, but
probably didn't send it to me.
I know I think I sent it to Tidwell too, but I'm not really sure. But I was just like, no, just no.
I mean, I still want to throw a Hellcat in my Jeep.
I mean, even if it was a Buick Wildcat, which they stopped making in the 70s.
No,
it's not even close, man.
Yeah, no,
it's not the same cat. Come on.
No. But that's just my. I'd like to put a Hellcat in my Jeep.
Yeah,
there's two reasons why I wouldn't do it though. Main reason is because I can't afford it.
Money being the number one, okay.
And number two, that's just wrong.
Yeah,
that's not what's supposed to go in a Jeep. I mean, a V8's fine in a Jeep.
Yeah, but dude. Put a 5.7 Hemi swap in it.
I'd rather go diesel.
Or you want to put a 3.0 diesel in it? I wouldn't put a 5.9 diesel in it. That's way too much.
Yeah, no,
way too much weight.
And I just want more.
Way too much torque.
Yeah, I just want more power.
Yeah,
because I want to be able to hook up that 16-foot low boy, toy hauler I got in my backyard, and just pull it. No, I mean, there's lots of people that have Hellcats in their Jeeps, and it's not bad. It goes right in. Yep. I think you don't even have to move the mount.
Plug and play.
Yeah, you don't even have to move the mounts. I can get a 14 Hellcat or any other Hemi engine and throw it in there the way it bolts in. It'll be back a little bit further, which is fine. But
well, I mean, like my buddy DJ, last week or maybe the week before, he traded in his V6 Jeep Gladiator, which I like the Gladiators. They're growing on me.
Yeah.
And he got a diesel. He got the baby diesel Gladiator, Rubicon, as a matter of fact. And he said, man, I'm impressed. I was like, yeah, I told you, diesels are the way to go. If I could seriously diesel swap my 94 Ram, which can be done very easily, it's just the money and the time. It takes a lot of work to diesel swap a gasoline. I have the talent. I know how to do it. It's just having the money and time.
I was gonna say it doesn't take much to do it except for money and time.
I'm just trying to be a hater.
Yeah. Talking about Jeeps.
Talking about Jeeps.
Yeah. It's all right. There's lots of people that hate Jeep, but most of those people like Broncos, and that's not saying much.
Are they like Broncos, Land Cruisers? As long as it's not stock. No, it's not stock. It's got a lift on it and some tires.
Yeah, it's got 2-inch lift and some 17s with 35s on it. Of course, the guy I bought it from is an idiot, and I could say that. I don't care if he's hearing or not, because it's my brother. Oh, sorry. He didn't upgrade the track bar and drag link. So now I have. Well, see, I'm not talking about old Broncos. The little
old Broncos are awesome.
From like the 60s, those are cool. I still don't like them, but they're cool. Not because they're nostalgic and they're class. No, they were just cool. The new Bronco, it's not a Bronco. That's a boxed out, rounded off, cornered Jeep.
I like the
and the
International
Sport,
Scouts come back.
Yes. We'll talk about that in a second. But the Bronco Sport, that's not even. I've seen too many of those lifted with off-road tires on it. You want me to tell you why that's a bad idea? Do you know why, Bosco? The Bronco Sport, don't lift it and don't put off-road tires on it.
Because they roll over like crazy.
It's a unibody.
Yeah.
The other Bronco, the big one, the
Right.
non-sport, that's actually on a chassis like a Jeep. Oh wait, the Jeep chassis. Not really, but it's the dimensions are really freaking close.
The only one that I actually really loved to drive, even in, well, I say high speeds. It was high speeds for what it was. The Jeep XJ Cherokee. The and for those who don't know what XJ is, Jeep Cherokee, early '90s all the way through 2007, I think it was the last body style. But
even the
rounded,
yeah, the XJs were nice.
Oh man,
with the what was it, 4-liter or 4.0 with a high output, 2001.
Like I had in the Hero.
Yep, I was about to say the Hero.
Yep, 2-door 5-speed manual 4.0.
What year was yours?
A 4.5 inch. Mine was 91.
So you didn't have, was that the original? Because I don't think they had the HO in 91, right?
I put an HO head on it.
Okay. Yeah. Those things were freaking bulletproof.
Because I wish that I found a 4.2 liter head when it gave me higher compression. And it seriously would have been amazing. But those things, even like 80 miles an hour, it's like you're driving a car. Even on a 4.5 inch lift on 33s, what I had. And that thing was a lot of fun to drive. But, had to make sacrifices, had a family, was married at the time. But, I mean, I got this house that I'm trying to sell now.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
I mean,
didn't you sell it to somebody locally?
No, some old boys up in North Georgia.
Because I could have swore I seen it driving through Perry. I
put it
called
up for
you
sale.
about it.
Yeah, that was a different one. I think that was a 4-door one you saw.
No, it was a 2-door.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a 2-door.
So long, I can't remember.
It was that almost dirty drab olive green. Had stickers on the back window that I didn't get because it was just after I moved here.
Yeah,
and they were down 41.
But it was some dudes up in North Georgia that were going to take it off there, and I said, I don't care what you do with it. You have fun.
You paid for it.
To you.
Good luck.
The rear main seal leaked, and the front seal leaked. Other than that 4-liter.
Throw some JB weld on it, it'll be all right.
Put a bead RTV.
And then JB weld.
Yeah. But
Walmart
I had fun.
Mechanic.
I had a lot of fun driving that thing. I mean, it wasn't too bad at 70, 75 miles an hour in fifth gear, just mobbing up the interstate. I didn't have a whole lot of... And it was riding, even with those big 33s, man, it was still riding at about 2,500 RPM. It wasn't, it was high, but it was still not bad.
No.
So
just mobbing it.
Anyway.
Freaking $3,000.
Yeah, that's if you downshifted.
But I'm just saying, just going down the highway, just mobbing it $3,000, just at most going uphill.
Yeah.
Love those things.
But they were, those Cherokees, if you treat them right, you were talking about Marines Blood was talking about driving a minivan.
Yeah.
And my condolences, but who downshifts? You downshift if you're driving through these hill country around here, try to pull Byron Hill in fifth gear.
Yeah. No, you're not.
I-75 South. It ain't gonna happen. You're gonna downshift, brother.
Yep. Gonna downshift.
The big rigs downshift. I'll tell you like that.
when you're right next to them on the highway and they do it because they don't know the hill's there, and then you hear them. Awesome. Oh,
The last time I rode up to our College Park location up in Atlanta, I was getting off the exit, and there was a semi right here beside me. You just reminded me, and I was just kind of in the zone, just driving, not even. I kind of really wasn't paying attention. I was kind of zoned out, just doing the automatic driving thing, paying attention to the vehicle in front of me, and the truck next to us, big red Peterbilt, let off, and his Jake brakes kicked in, and we were under an overpass, and it was the loudest thing I've ever heard at that time. I thought it was anyway. Good Lord. I mean,
good job, sir. He did that on purpose.
I was like, God. I had my window down. I was just cruising. It was beautiful weather. I was just, just kind of getting off the interstate, the big loop.
Yep.
And
welcome to America.
Under the overpass, man, and just blah 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 blah. I love to hear it in the distance. I think it's great because there again, and I'm a diesel guy, but at the same time, I'm like, good Lord, it scared me. I was like, oh, yeah, I get it. You drive a big truck. Good on you, sir. Congratulations.
Yeah, wait till we get to this 94 Ultra Classic running.
I'm awake now. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Tyler's in Colorado. Nice.
Yeah, I couldn't live in Colorado. I'd get in trouble.
Can't get any more subscribers. You're at 69. Nice. Oh, well, you said Rocky. Did you say Rockies, or did I just?
He said live near mountains, and then he said the Rockies are unforgiving.
That's why I'm thinking you live in Colorado. My bad.
He's in Canada. Canadian. That makes it even worse. He's one of those Canadians.
That's right. We won't hold it against you, dude. Neither one of us give a shit about hockey, dude.
Yeah, wait, what?
We won't hold that against you at all.
Wait a minute. Who doesn't care about hockey?
Well, okay. I don't care about hockey. I'm
hockey.
not a sports guy.
Yeah, but you have to remember, other than UFC and boxing, it's the only sport you are allowed to fight in. And you get a slap on the wrist when you do it.
Yeah.
Stop it. Go sit in timeout.
Oh, Lord. I'm not a sports guy. I don't, well, I say that I follow my Georgia Bulldogs just because I was born, I'm from Georgia. I grew up in a time period. I grew up in an environment that you liked your home team. Mm-hmm. I grew up in Athens. I lived the first part of my life up to about 6, 7 years old in Athens, Georgia, right down the street from where I was born. And I was there last night. Is the University of Georgia. By the way, if you ever get a chance to go to downtown Athens, I suggest 2 spots, Little Kings and the Grill. So
3 spots. Go to the Boar's Head.
And get out of Athens before 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I was going to say 9:30. Get out of there.
I was trying to navigate my big jacked up 1500 Ram down one-way streets, trying to squeeze in, trying to figure out where to park and all that. Good. I had to park on the side of the road. It was like downtown Macon. But as long as humans win, I'm good. I follow the Dogs, and that's about as far as my fandom goes. I don't care about the Atlanta Braves, the Falcons, or the Thrashers, or even the Macon football and baseball teams. I'm not that thrilled. There's a raceway.
I only pay attention to the Macon rugby team.
See, that's how much of a sports fan that I'm not. I didn't even know there's a rugby team.
You know what their team name is?
What?
Macon Love. It's the roughest sport in the city of Macon. It's Macon Love.
Wrong. The roughest sport in the city of Macon is getting
out of downtown Macon. Trying to get across Broadway, going to Cherry Street.
Chasing these crackheads out of our yard every other day from trying to steal ice out of the dumpster.
Yeah, using a trash can from down the street that they stole.
I didn't tell you what. So last Saturday, I was at the shop. I went to leave, rolled up my roll-up door, and I looked out, and I see at the gate there's about 30 bags of ice. And I was like, what? And about that time, I see somebody walking up through the yard. I mean, handful on this and a bag underneath this arm, holding handfuls of bags of ice, just walking up through the. And I yelled. I said, no, what are you doing? And I called the manager. I said, you got this on camera, right? And he's like, yeah. I said, okay, just making sure. And of course, I told him, don't come back on our property. Blah, blah, blah. I ran the lady off our property. But she was down there with you said stolen garbage can, but it was a shopping buggy from somewhere, shopping cart from somewhere. And she just loaded everything up. I told her not to come on the property anymore. And she went on about her merry way. But she was getting it out of our dumpster.
Yeah.
If we have old ice that's been melting or something's wrong with the bag or whatever, we just throw it away.
Yep.
It's no good.
Or some of the bags right before you clean it because you realize.
But so we crackheads will keep me in good shape. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we have to. That's the most dangerous sport in Macon. Keeping the crackheads out of your business, physically. But it's that's what we had to do. But yeah. Anyway, I guess we're gonna wrap this up. It's 2.5 hours deep. Thank you all for joining in the chat. Marine's Blood, Tyler S, Foxy, Brittany Faulknerator, Walk Around and Find Out. Alan Tidwell was in here earlier. Thank y'all very much for joining in the chats. I really, really appreciate it. I said Marine's Blood, didn't I?
Yes. Say it again.
Okay. Yeah. Marine's Blood, Tyler S, Foxy Lady. That's what you got to change. Foxy Lady.
I like to Falk Around and Find Out.
Falk Around and Find Out. Yeah. Thank y'all for being here. Next week, we're going to do a true crime episode. It's going to be pretty interesting. So we got a week to do our research. I think she's domesticated now, Tyler.
You got
a
week to do research.
You're there for color commentary. Blech.
Yeah. No. We're doing it on what we had talked about earlier, right? The one man up in North Carolina. Yeah, I don't need to do research on him.
Well,
I used to sit and talk with that man, but we'll talk about that later.
I don't either, but I have to refresh my memory on some things. So I want to, if it's who we talked about, I want to bring up some good stuff. So y'all, seriously, it's going to be, same bad time. I mean, bat time, same bat channel. But yeah, we'll be here 6:30, 7 o'clock next week. On Sunday, live right here on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to go hit that like and subscribe. Go on to Spotify, give us 5-star reviews. Go on to iHeart, give us a review and a follow. Amazon Music as well. I'm working on linking us up with some more platforms to get us more out there. So yeah, I'm glad for y'all to be here. I'm very grateful as always. You got anything else? Anything coming this week? Ooh, we almost forgot.
No, we didn't. I was actually about to type that up when you asked me that.
Go ahead.
Actually, I don't have anything new coming up. I did. Me and Pop talked about going back over to his brother's house to get some more of his stuff or get the rest of his stuff. But other than that, no, not really, not at all. Everything's still going to be the same.
All right. Yeah, me too. It's got to work. So, as always, we talk about our military veterans, and I'll let Turtle take it from here.
Great. I was prepared for that one. Let me breathe some oxygen first. No, so Operation Tackle Box is a nonprofit organization. It's a 501(c) nonprofit. Amazing group of people that are running this. I know the owner personally. They are currently raffling off this UTV. It is the one that's pictured, but it has been severely modified since then. You have 3 days. February 26th is when it ends. You have 3 days. Well, really, no, 3 days. You got 3 days to get a ticket. Wednesday at 2 p.m.
There's 3 more hours left of today.
Something like that. They're doing the I think they're doing the drawing. Yeah, they're on the 28th. They're gonna do another one. They're gonna do another, or they're gonna do the drawing for it. But it's a 2023 Polaris Ranger XP 1000. Like I said, it's gonna be fully modified. So if you want, go to operationtacklebox.org. Buy your tickets right there on the homepage. It's right, literally, there's the top of the page. Scroll down, it's the next thing. That's going to help fund a lot of the things that they do for the veterans. They help veterans get into the VA, get their disabilities taken care of. They take them on fishing trips, as you can see in some of these pictures. They're also doing overland or camping type things, bushcraft type stuff. They do everything. They're an amazing group. Go check them out. OperationTackleBox.org. You can also find them on Facebook. There's their information there. Operation Tacklebox on Facebook. IG at Operation_Tacklebox or Tackle_box on IG. They also have a shop. Go in there and check it out. Great bunch of people. Love them to death. I wouldn't be where I'm at without Jacob helping me.
They family owner operated team help combat veterans, helping combat veterans. Full plans for helping veterans get what they need. GI Bill, VA claims, anything they can do, they will do. Fishing, side by side racing. You can click on donate. You already said to go on and get you some super sweet merch, didn't you? I was reading something when you were kind of going over your thing. My bad.
Yeah, no, I did. I did say that they do have a shop. The only thing I didn't say on there, and I'm not really big into mentioning this because it sounds like I'm begging. I always say just go check out the page, and if you scroll through the page, you'll see it. But there is a donate if you just want to directly donate. $5, $1, 50 cents once a month, whatever you want to do. It helps. It helps a lot of people. Like I said, I probably wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Jacob 6 years ago. I was in a really dark place.
I'm pretty confident that everybody that follows us knows a veteran or 2 or 12 or veterans themselves, so even if you don't buy a t-shirt or a hat or donate or anything like that and you just need help, dude, they do have some awesome outerwear. Ooh, I like that hoodie, a zip up hoodie. Anyway, but they have stuff for women, children, hats, hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeves. They got a new design drop. T-shirt says t-shirt and hoodie option says been there, destroyed that. So yeah, it's very important. It's near and dear to my heart because Turtle is my brother, and I know a few other veterans as well. So yeah, the guys who are in law enforcement now who were veterans, or guys who are just veterans and they're off doing other things. So yeah, I'm super glad to promote them on our show, and happy that at least we can put the word out, and it just helps them, even, So with that being said, y'all have a great night. Tyler, have a good dinner. And Foxy, thank you once again. Marines Blood, Foxy, Tyler, Alan Tidwell, thank y'all for being in the chats tonight. Thank y'all for being here for me. It really means a lot because I'm not here without y'all, and I really enjoy your really appreciate your support. But that's it. I'm gonna work this week, and here in a couple weeks, go get me another truck. But I'll shoot videos for that. We'll see how that goes. But I might wait till I'm sandwich. Yeah, it's 9:00. Let's head on out. Shut off the lights. I love y'all. Have a great week. Peace.
Thanks for riding with us on the Forever Road podcast with Bosco. Hey, you can find and follow us at Instagram and Facebook, or just drop us a line or a question anytime at foreverroadpodcast@gmail.com. See you next time on the Forever Road podcast.